Joining us right now is the actor. You can see him on Doc, airing each and every Tuesday night right here on Fox 17 at 8 o'clock Central Time. We're joined here by Jon Ecker. Thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell us about the show. If someone has never seen Doc, what can they expect on Tuesday nights?
Well, it's a medical procedural show, so you can expect a lot of medical drama. But I think, this show, I think, it brings in a lot more personal drama than a lot of shows. You get the normal medical cases that happen every week, but it deals a lot with the dynamics between the different doctors on the show. And then I think the principal premise of the show that's really interesting is that lead doctor, played by the brilliant Molly Parker, she, in the first episode, basically has a traumatic event and loses 8 years of her memory. And so throughout the first season, she's trying to kind of rebuild her life, get back into practicing medicine, and then just kind of dealing with those 8 years that she lost.
Yeah. Tell us about your character, Dr. Heller, is that correct?
I play Dr. Jake Heller. I am a fourth-year resident in the internal medicine department, and I play Amy's, played by Molly Parker's, love interest in the show. But after the first episode, she doesn't remember me anymore because she's lost 8 years of her memory. So I'm basically kind of there as a colleague and coworker on the sidelines, waiting to find out, is she going to regain her memory? Are we going to rekindle our love again, or is this just gone?
Yeah. And talk to me, there's a long history of medical dramas, of course, on television. We've had quite a few right here on Fox that we can name. You know, Bones was huge in its day, and I can name several more. Talk to me about trying to make the show stand out among all those other medical dramas, because people may see where they're in the hospital and there's some drama.
Yeah.
So what's new about this?
Exactly. Well, yeah, you deal with the normal life and death and being in a hospital, which everybody's seen on TV. There's, like you said, there's a million. I think what the writers did on this show that makes it great, besides this interesting premise that has also been tried and tested, there's an Italian version of the show, and I think it's in multiple languages. Okay. But I think they did a great job at really kind of fleshing out all the different characters so they're not so stereotypical. Nobody's the bad guy, the antagonist, and the protagonist. Everybody is kind of layered, and you don't quite know. There might be certain episodes where you like this character and you don't like this character, and then you start to see his backstory, and you're like, so I think it really pulls at your heartstrings more than just that weekly case that they're dealing with. The characters throughout these 10 episodes, I think they did a great job at really fleshing them out so you become involved as an audience member.
Well, let's talk about you very quickly. Personally, I've learned, you live here in the Mid-State. We're not gonna say where, we're not gonna put your business on the street like that, but you live here in the Mid-State. Talk about the uniqueness here of the Nashville area and why you have chosen, you could live literally anywhere, so why are you living here?
Well, a big part of it is my wife's family lives in the area as well, and when we started dating, I came out here, and I'm from San Marcos, Texas, so it's a small town outside of Austin, so kind of a similar situation. And both me and my wife are from small towns, and we always just kind of wanted to get back to that kind of atmosphere. And when I started visiting Middle Tennessee, I was just like, it's kind of like Texas, but a little bit better weather. And it was just gorgeous, and so it wasn't hard to convince me when we were looking at where to move to come out here, and we just love it.
You have a very interesting backdrop as far as getting into acting. That's not where you started. I've read in your backdrop here that you were almost and correct me, an aqua biologist.
So I went to school, yes, at UC Santa Barbara for aquatic biology, which is kind of marine biology, but it also encompasses freshwater systems, so it's not just the marine aspect. And I used to work as a research diver in different locations, primarily out of Santa Barbara. And life throws you some curveballs, and I've been doing this for the past decade or so, and it's been paying the bills, so I keep going with it, and I'm loving it.
You just keep going with it as well. Now, of course, you've done other shows other than Doc, which is what we're here to talk about. We just know one of our staff members recognized you from Netflix, from one of the other shows that you've done in the past, and you were talking about how crazy it is that people are recognizing you from things not only were done years ago, but things that weren't airing where they're now seeing them originally.
Yeah, I think that's one of the interesting thing about the fact these streamers that you can watch things, and shows that might be old all of a sudden can become new to a new demographic that just discovered it, and they're like, oh, I want to binge watch 5 seasons of in that case Queen of the South or Firefly Lane or Narcos or another show that I've done. Whereas before, it's just, if it's not airing on TV, you don't see it unless, I guess back in the day you'd rent the DVDs or something if it was a really popular show. But yeah, that's kind of nice, is you can rediscover shows, and I think we've seen that with shows, especially during the pandemic, becoming popular. People just needed to find new stuff to binge watch, and a show that's 10 years old all of a sudden gets rediscovered.
Well, maybe people would do that with Doc, which is coming up here on Tuesday nights right here on Fox 17. Airs at 8 o'clock Central Time, and of course the next day it streams, as I was just talking about that, on Hulu.
Exactly.
You can check it out there.
Yeah, and I think they're even airing some of the episodes on YouTube.
Okay.
I think so. There's lots of outlets.
Multiple platforms.
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Check them out Tuesday nights on Fox 17.